Hi everybody, welcome to week 4 of public speaking. For this week's presentation, I have decided I will be showing everybody how to make a peanut butter cookie recipe. It's easy and simple. I say easy and simple because it doesn't require much of your time and it only requires 3 ingredients for us to use to bake this recipe. I found this recipe about 3 years ago when my kids were bugging me after dinner to bake them some cookies. After a long day and spending time in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, I didn't want to spend any more time in the kitchen. I just wanted to relax, but they were asking and asking for cookies, so I kind of Googled a simple and easy cookie recipe, and the first recipe that popped up was the peanut butter cookie recipe. It grabbed my attention right away because it said it only required 3 ingredients, and the 3 ingredients that were needed I already had sitting in my cupboard and my refrigerator. So it worked out perfectly. And the prep time or the total time for the recipe was only going to be 20 minutes. So that was a win-win situation for the kids, for myself. So I started baking that recipe, and ever since then, the kids have loved these cookies, and I bake them at least every other week or so. So we're going to start off with the ingredients. The first ingredient is going to be peanut butter. The second ingredient is 1 egg, and the third ingredient is going to be sugar. You don't have to use any specific type of peanut butter. It can be any brand of your choice. The brand that I have here is Skippy, creamy Skippy peanut butter, which personally I love creamy, only because it's easy to scoop out of the container and to measure it into the cup. And when I scoop the cup out to put in the mixing bowl, it's super smooth and easy to transition into the bowl as well. So 1 cup of peanut butter we're going to be using. Any type of sugar is fine. You're going to need 6 tablespoons of sugar and 1 egg for this recipe. Okay, so I already pre-measured the ingredients. So we have 1 cup of peanut butter here in our measuring cup, and I already measured 6 tablespoons of sugar that are sitting here in the container as well. And I have my 1 egg. Before I start mixing the ingredients, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. While it's preheating, you're going to begin mixing your ingredients in a medium bowl. You can mix with if you do have available like a mixer, that's fine. If not, a medium bowl is perfectly fine with a spatula or a spoon, whatever you prefer to mix your ingredients with. You're also going to have handy a cooking sheet. For the cooking sheet, you will need some cooking spray to lightly coat the cooking sheet so that way the cookies don't get stuck on there. If you don't have cooking spray, that's perfectly fine. You can use a little bit of cooking oil. Just kind of rub it across the baking sheet as well. You don't need a lot of oil onto the baking sheet. Just a very light coat. 1 coat is perfectly fine. So while the oven is preheating, we're going to begin mixing our ingredients. So you're mixing 1 cup of peanut butter here. And like I mentioned, the creamy one is probably the easiest to scoop out of the container. And then I usually just mix it with a spoon here. Oops. And get it all in the bowl. And then I have my 6 tablespoons of sugar. You're going to mix that in there as well. And then you're going to crack your 1 egg. Simple and easy. And then you just kind of start mixing all the ingredients together. If you can see there, the egg mixes perfectly fine into the bowl with the ingredients. And you'll continue mixing all the ingredients together until they have been all combined evenly in the bowl. So it looks like we got all the ingredients mixed in there now. The next thing you're going to do is oil up your cooking sheet. I usually, if you have the cooking spray, I just kind of do like a quick Z figure onto the sheet to do a light coat. And the serving size of dough or mixture you're going to want to put on the cooking sheet is probably about 1 tablespoon. I would say you just kind of scoop it up. You can see the size is just about 1 tablespoon on there. You're going to kind of just scoop it out and place it like a smack onto the cooking sheet. So you're going to do that for each scoop. Just kind of slightly place 1 tablespoon of the mixture onto the cooking sheet. Place them about 1 inch apart. They won't get that big, so 1 inch should be fine. Just do about a scoop there. Sometimes the peanut butter gets a little stuck, but you don't have to do much, make it a perfect, you don't have to perfectly put it onto the baking sheet. You just kind of slab it on there and it comes out perfectly fine. So you'll keep doing this until all the mixture's gone. Just place it onto your cooking sheet. As you can see, peanut butter is kind of sticky. That's why I like using the creamy peanut butter, just because it's, even though it's not perfect, it's still a lot smoother than if you used chunky peanut butter or thick peanut butter. So depending on the size of your cookies, 1 tablespoon is what the recipe mentions, but sometimes if you want to make a larger cookie, you can do more than 1 scoop of the peanut butter. So the recipe typically makes about, I would say, 6 to 7 cookies per batch. If you need to make more than 7 cookies, you can always double the recipe. So if you want double the batch, you would, double the serving sizes for each ingredient. So the peanut butter, once again, is 1 cup. The sugar is 6 tablespoons and 1 egg. Okay, so there I have placed all of the mixture onto the baking sheet. As you can see, they are not perfectly laid out. They're about 1 inch apart, which is a perfect measurement and space between each cookie. So the next thing you want to do is get a fork. You're going to want to make a number sign shape on top of each cookie to kind of flatten it. So you'll see that I'm going to use the fork here to make a number sign to flatten the cookie. So you just kind of flatten it down with the fork, make like a number sign symbol on there. If you're looking for a recipe with perfect cookie shapes, this might not be the one because of the peanut butter. It's very sticky and it kind of doesn't lay out perfect from the mixture, from the bowl to the cooking sheet. So you're just gonna wanna flatten it by making a number sign on each cookie. And once you have flattened it and you made your number signs, like I said, it's not too perfect, but the cookies do come out delicious. So that is a big plus. So that is the final step, is flattening the cookies. You're gonna place them in the oven for 10 minutes. So I will be placing them in the oven and setting the timer. So now those will bake for 10 minutes. They usually will turn golden brown and soften up once they're done. The final cookie looks like this. Sorry. When they come out, they will be about this size, and they will taste very delicious. And so those are going to bake for 10 minutes, and then they will be all set. But this is the final outcome. Like I mentioned before, it's a simple, easy recipe to put together after dinner using peanut butter, 1 cup of peanut butter, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 egg. You're going to preheat your oven to 350. Mix all your ingredients together. Place them on the baking sheet about 1 inch apart and flatten them with using a fork and making a number symbol at the top of the cookie. So that's my recipe for everybody. If you have any questions, please, feel free to respond to my posting once it's posted. The total time for this will be 20 minutes, 10 minutes for prepping and 10 minutes for baking. If you love cookies, I think this will be a great recipe for yourself. All right. Well, I was glad I was able to share this recipe with everyone. I hope you have a chance to make this recipe and enjoy. Bye.